Hi everyone, and welcome back to our weekly Art of Spiritual Peacemaking lessons. You're somewhere in the world, wherever you might be, in a small group, people who are dedicated to awakening, people who are dedicated to realizing that they're already awake and that they have an important role to play. I know that every single one of us feels this in one way or another. Somewhere in the depths of our being, we know that we're here on purpose, that there is a reason for all of this, and that we chose all of this. And I think that this amazing offering, the Art of Spiritual Peacemaking, as well as others like it, have been given to us at this very critical time in history, because this is the time that we are choosing to be awake, to remember who we are, and to activate who we are in the world. A world that we know in truth really doesn't exist in the way that we think it does, and yet we experience it as real, and therefore, because we experience it as real, we have a responsibility there to bring reality into that, to bring truth, love, peace, all of that into this experience that we're sharing. So I'm so happy that we can share this experience of coming together with this beautiful offering of the Art of Spiritual Peacemaking. Yeshua is giving us some very, very important key and once secret lessons. He said earlier that this is not the information that he was shared so openly 2,000 years ago. Back then, he only shared this information with the people that were closest to him, but now it's time to share it with us all, with the masses, because we're ready for it. This is the time. And I actually wrote down here in my book, before I started, I wrote these words, that it's time to make a choice. As I was reading this lesson earlier, preparing for this talk, that's what I came to, that every lesson we've done has kind of prepared us for this moment, and this is the moment in which we are being called to make a choice. Are we going to continue to live the way that we once did? A world and a life based upon all of the appetites and the desires of the ego, that part of us which maintains this illusion of separation, wants it. The thing that is, the part of us that has never given us what we really want, or are we going to make another choice? The choice of our soul, the choice to remember divinity and to share that divinity with everyone that we meet. It is time to make a choice. So what will your choice be? I think we're going to see that in this lesson. In fact, I'm going to go right away to the very, very end of this lesson. Usually I start at the beginning, but I want to share something at the very end because I think it really hit me as important and vital as we begin here. It says in the second to last paragraph, the nature of the final stage of your awakening is that you will no longer identify yourself as different from any other being. That you will no longer identify yourself as different from any other being. In particular, other beings that are awake. Turning toward the Buddha nature within you is the same as turning toward the Christ consciousness. Each is a reference, nothing more, which will link your mind to the eternal movement of spirit that flows through us all. We are the same in this, and this is the purpose of the bridge that I offer. You'll probably remember in the last lessons when Yeshua talked about the awakened experience as being a bridge, that once we do realize that we are awake, we must activate our own responsibility to be that bridge for others. He is doing that for us in this moment. You must then in turn be that bridge for others as you awaken, offering this same opportunity. And as he says here, you'll know that you're there when you no longer identify yourself as different from any other being, in particular those beings that are also awake. You won't feel that you're different from, say, Christ or any other being that has led you to this moment. Any other enlightened or awakened being that has helped you to see this within yourself. You will no longer identify yourself as different from that. You will see yourself as one with that. In particular, you'll also see yourself as one with all of those who do not know that. And that, to me, is the key. It doesn't matter what other people think about themselves. It's your responsibility to see the truth within them. It's your responsibility to see them as awake. And in doing so, you will stay awake. The quickest way to fall back asleep, even after you've had an awakened experience, is to look at others and see them as different from that. You will maintain this by seeing them as the same. So I'm going to go back to the beginning now, and we're going to look at some other important parts of this. It says in the first paragraph, your eyes are beginning to open to the reality we are seeking, but they are still only half open. You are seeing two worlds at once, one of imagined dreams where you created a world built upon an impossible foundation, and the world where you can see clearly the truth that never changes. You may find yourself moving between these two worlds without even knowing it, for the differences are often subtle and hard to perceive. But they will soon become more obvious, and you will not be able to deny the truth any longer. Soon your eyes will open wide, and the world of dreams will disappear completely. Then you will know what it means to bring peace, not with your mind, but with your whole self. Then you will be a true servant of humanity, of reality, and and everything will make perfect sense to you. I love this idea, which I think many of us can really relate to, that our eyes are half open. It's as if we can see both worlds at the same time. We're feeling somewhere inside of us the immense opportunity of the real world. We're feeling it, some more than others, but in one way or another, I know you're feeling it, otherwise you wouldn't be here right now. And as you feel it more and more, it becomes more and more compelling. And yet there is still that part of us, like if our eyes are half open, we're still kind of in that sleepy state. We're still in that dream state where we remember clearly the dream, and we're having a hard time letting go of it. Well, it gets easier and easier as we feel the compelling nature of the real world, because it's the real world that allows us to remember and to keep remembering and to keep offering and keep giving, to see this everywhere. So the idea now is to open up our eyes wide, to see clearly what's in front of us. Soon the difference will become more obvious and you will not be able to deny the truth any longer. Thank God. Soon your eyes will open wide and the world of dreams will disappear completely. Wouldn't that be lovely if the world of dreams completely disappeared, and even as your eyes looked upon everything here, you still see the truth. See, this is, I think, where a lot of people get caught. They think that there is a point, and maybe there is, but this is not the point that we're looking toward. We're not looking toward the point at which this all disappears. We're all looking to the point where we still see this with our physical eyes, but our spiritual eyes are wide open and we see the real truth that's before us. Okay, let me go down a little bit further here. Of course, we're still dealing with the awakened heart, and it says, the awakened heart is where we must devote most of our attention because it is where the real foundation lies. That's why we've been spending more time here. Achieving the first enlightenment is significant, but nowhere near the goal. And the third enlightenment occurs on its own, without any effort at all, once you have fully opened to the second. So we've been spending a lot of time here on the awakened heart, because when this combines with the earlier demonstration of the illumined mind, and these two things fuse, then the third enlightenment, which we're going to start dealing with again soon, the realized soul will happen on its own. Okay, one more bit here before I give you your lesson. It says, the you that embraced, the ego believes that because you are more intimately aware of your own self, which is symbolized by your body, because you're more intimately aware of that it must surely be different than the self of others. You must be different from others because you're so intimately associated with your own body. It sees through your eyes, not theirs, and therefore it builds a solid case for its theology of separation. Isn't that interesting, the theology of separation? What it does not remember is that it made the body for this very purpose, and it claims it still. It has forgotten that the vision of God extends past all bodies and form and claims them as one. Therefore, when you claim the awakened heart within you, or within anyone, whether it be yourself or a person who seems to be separate from you, you are claiming one. You are the one claiming it. Let me read that again so we don't, because I kind of got myself confused. Therefore, when you claim the awakened heart within anyone, whether it be yourself or the person who seems to be separate from you, you are the one who's claiming it. Is this beginning to make sense? This is what we mean when we say it is in giving that we receive. What I give to thee is received by me. So now we'll move into the exercise. Now I hope that you can break into smaller groups. And I'm going to actually just go to what it says here at the very end. It says, for the next 3 days, look through my heart often. For the next 3 days, look through my heart often. This is Yeshua speaking directly to you. Consciously see the world and everything that you experience as if I am the one experiencing all of it, not you. As if it is Yeshua, or the awakened one, who is experiencing it. When you cross this bridge and reach the other side, then you will see that we are the same, that we share the same heart. Then you will know and you will see. So that's what I want you to do today. I want you to just spend some time together talking about what that might be like. Have a discussion perhaps about what that might feel like to walk around for the next week seen through the eyes of Christ. What would that be like for you? And as always, I'm so grateful to be here with you. This is such a great thing, the chance to share this beautiful material. So go off and enjoy this even further. I'll be back again next week. I hope you'll be here, and we'll see you then.